Hello everyone and welcome to today's video. Now today I'm going to be talking about the Pacific League group stage results. They obviously finished yesterday. I couldn't do it because it was pretty late for me, but I'm doing it right now, so at least that's obviously good enough. If you forgot who the participants were, here are the players: Destination Focus Me, DRX, Gen.G, Global, Paper X, Rex, Keon, T1, Talon, Team Secret, and Z Division. I guess we'll have a little quick discussion of the changes that happened between Locked In and Pacific. The biggest one is Paper X. They actually added something into the lineup. Now, I've been craving about something. I've been saying that he's a phenomenal, fantastic player from Russia who has been tearing it up in the Japanese scene, and yet here he is in Paper X, and he did really, really well. Cigarettes, he actually got some playtime as well. Pretty sure that was like a troll, but I don't know. Global, there was some issues with SK Rossi lighting files and making it to Korea. I'm pretty sure by week 3, I'm pretty sure they made it to Korea, so at least that's a good sign there. Gen.G, they made 2 changes. I'm pretty sure they got rid of Intro, and I'm pretty sure it was Intro. Might be wrong. I don't know. But they've added Sylvan and God Dead into the lineup. Intro, he's also joined T1, and that's really all. It hasn't really been any other changes other than EMEA, especially, which we'll get to that later, and a bit of the Americas as well. Mainly Americas, but with one Pacific team, but it's fine. We'll move on with it. Here are the standings before we get into the group stages. Results: DRX, they came first place, 8-1 record. Then we got Paper X, T1, Z Division, Team Secret, and Gen.G rounding out the top 6. Pretty surprised about Gen.G, but we get to them later. Then we got Rex, Keon, Global Esports, Talent Esports, and Destination Focus Me in 10th place and dead last. Now, for some reason on Wikipedia, they have actually split it up into 4 weeks, or weeks 1 to 4 and weeks 5 to 8. So there might be a bit of a trail here, but that's fine. I guess we'll do we put it onto week 4. We'll put it that way. So I do have some matches I'm gonna highlight. I'm not really going to highlight all the matches, only some matches that I find pretty interesting. First one was T1 versus Global Esports. This was just, I'm pretty sure this was just because it was the first time that we get to see T1. It was also because that it was interesting to see how Global will go without SK Rossi, mainly in the lineup. It was Lily Wronski was in it for the entire time. It was literally Wronski. He was replaced with SK Rossi. And obviously you have a look as well at Pearl, 13-8 on Pearl. 13-4 on Haven. I went to Global Esports. 13-8 went to T1, and then 13-7 on Lotus also went to T1. So not really a good showing for Global Esports. They kind of struggled, but to be fair, that style player was not on the roster. Sorry for the flashbang. There we go. Okay, well, Zeta, he got an MVP for that, so that's not too bad. Week 2, it was a highlight of Gen.G versus Destination Focus Me, and as you can see, it's because Destination Focus Me got a map win over over Gen.G, which is a bit of an embarrassment. 13-8 on Lotus for Gen.G, 13-4 on Fracture, and 13-8 on Pearl. Have a look as well at the stats here. King, he popped off in this entire game, so he did a great job. TS as well, the IGL, he did a really good job. Suggest, I really feel bad for him. He's with a very, very struggling team, and Soldem as well. Both of them played like extremely well in this with Detonation. I don't know about everyone else. I mean, Anthem was not too bad. Zinfreeze had some moments, but mainly it was Suggest and Soldem who did a really good job. And I guess also have a look as well at all the maps, and Suggest did get an ace. Pretty sure on Lotus, I'm pretty sure. Am I right? Yes, I am. 1v3 clutch as well from Meteor. And Anthem. So that is Gen.G and Detonation, and as well TS also got MVP for that. Week 3, highlight 2 matches: Paper X versus Talon. Sorry, not Talon. T1 and then Talon versus DRX. This was just because it was actually the first map with something in the roster. Really cool to see something in, and he popped off like always, so not really surprised there. But Forsaken, I'm pretty sure he got 2 races on Pearl, so Forsaken, he did a really good job as well in the new role. Pretty sure as a flex I'm pretty certain he's a flex player, so might be wrong, might be a sentinel, I don't know. But good job on to Forsaken and Talon versus DRX. There's really one thing I want to highlight here, and it's the split comp. Do you see anything wrong with Talon's split comp? If you say that they have a triple duelist composition, then you are correct. I was a bit baffled when this happened, and I'm still baffled to this day. Fox9, he got MVP. He did a really good job. So no really surprises on how that ended up. Week 4, obviously there was actually three matches I want to talk about. Maybe yes, three matches. TX it was Team Secret versus Rex and Keon. RQ. I guess it was a bit of an upset when this happened. RQ, they didn't really prove they haven't really proved themselves up until this point, and then they were really good. They also got a map off Z Division as well. When RQ, they performed massively. Elmore, he got MVP, 13-10 on Icebox, 13-7 on the split. And yeah, so yeah, Elmore, he did a phenomenal job as well. I'm pretty sure he is also the headshot machine on the Sheriff. If you give him a Sheriff, he will instantly kill someone. The battle of the Japanese crowds, A Division versus Detonation Focus Me. You can guess who won that. It was A Division. 39 on Ascent, 13-5 on Haven. It was Krogan MVP for that, but yeah, pretty lackluster Japanese battle. And T1 versus Gen G. It was the battle of the Koreans. Basically, who was going to be the second best team other than DRX, obviously. It was Gen G winning this one. Can get an MVP. 13-5 on both Haven and Ascent. So, I mean, at least, you know, obviously that didn't really work out. Gen G is now the third, maybe even the third best Korean team, but, yeah, at least back then, Gen G was definitely the second best team as for Korean teams. Apologies for the dogs. But, yeah, that's really bad for Gen G and T1, and also for weeks 1 and, weeks 1 to 4. You know, obviously, this is what it looked like after week 4. DRX and Gen G, they haven't lost the Z Division. They were third place. Rex and Keon were up in 4th. Team Sick and Paper X, both of them were down 5th and 6th. T1 was down 7th. There was Global, then Destination, then Talon Esports in 8th through 10th. Obviously, this is what it looks like right now. So a bit of a change here. The bottom 3 not really, DRX up top not really, but in the middle, quite a lot of changes. This is now the matches. Obviously, we'll first start with week 5. I only highlighted 2 matches: Gen G versus DRX. Obviously, battle of the Koreans, and it was also the first time in the season that DRX actually dropped a map to anyone, and this time it was to Gen G. It was 13-10 on Fracture for Gen G. We all had our hopes up that Gen G was actually going to win, but it didn't really come to fruition. Buzz, he got MVP. DRX obviously crushed him on Pearl, so no really surprises there. And Z Division versus Talon Esports. What was Z Division doing? Originally I thought that Z Division was maybe the 3rd best or even the 4th best team. Here they look like maybe a 6th best team or a 7th best team. Talon, they were just up and on it. They finally figured everything out with their scrapping their weird compositions and who letting them cook and stuff. I have no idea. I also forgot to mention that Boy, formerly from the 100 Thieves, has joined Talon Esports as their assistant coach. I'm pretty sure that there's a lot of boys in that team. But pretty close game either way. Either those 2-0, pretty close game. 13-8 on Haven, 16-14 on Ascent, so pretty close, and Jit Boy's getting MVP for that. Where are we up to? Week 6, Global Esports versus Gen G. I'm pretty sure this was this the first map for first one for SK Rossi? I'm gonna have a look. No, it's the Paper X and Global. That was SK Rossi's and Light and Fast's debut match on the Pacific League, and obviously Paper X won. But here, SK Rossi, I'm pretty sure, was in full time and absolutely destroyed Gen G. SK Rossi, obviously, he got MVP, no really surprises there, but he single-handedly destroyed Gen G Esports. They had no answer to the dominant Indian duelist players, so, well, I mean, at least it was good to see Global Esports obviously being a lot more competitive, now with SK Rossi in the lineup. And another team which really surprised me was Wrexham Keon. They actually took DRX's second map off. Yeah, they DRX losing a map to RIQ definitely showed how much RIQ improved throughout the season. I'm really happy they did. Even though Buzz got MVP and DRX won, I think RIQ should still really be happy that they at least took a map off DRX, because obviously everyone thought that it was just gonna be a clean 2-0 sweep for DRX, but it wasn't. It was a 2-1 victory for DRX, so I think that's good enough. It was 13-8 on Haven. That was when RIQ won, but then 13-10 on Split and 13-2 on Pearls. Oh, it was not pretty, but yeah, at least RIQ, they did do well against the dominant powerhouse team. And then finally, on to week 7 before we get to Super Week, it was Talon versus Genji. Genji. This was kind of the decline of Genji. When they lost to DRX, they lost to Global, they lost to Talon, who came 9th. This was, I guess it was a bit of an upset, I suppose. This was argued to be an upset. 13-8 on Fracture, 37 on Lotus, and Garnet's getting MVP. So, very, very disappointing for Global Esports to lose against Talon Esports. And then finally, for Super Week, there's quite a few matches I want to get into, and one of them is not even listed, but I'll get to that later. The first one is, what is it? It is Team Secret versus DRX. And you can probably see why I decided to cover this. DRX did not win. This was considered maybe the biggest upset maybe in the Pacific League, but at the same time, Team Secret, they kind of came alive, I'll be honest. I mean, they did lose to T1, which was a bit of a surprise, but their team on paper is actually pretty good. Borkham, he got MVP. Obviously, he did a phenomenal job. Can't remember what Borkham's role was. I'm pretty sure he is the flex, or maybe he's a central. I can't remember what he plays, I'll be honest. Oh no, I'm pretty sure he's a flex, along with Dubstep. But it was shocking to see DRX struggle. At the same time, though, they did have Zest back in the lineup, so maybe give them the benefit of the doubt. But still, it's still a win for Team Secret, even if Zest was out. It's still a victory. So there's nothing really denying you on that. Zeta Vision versus Genji. This kind of solidified Genji to be a bit of hot water, especially for ROQ, who obviously won against Talon Esports. I'm pretty sure this also locked Zeta Division into the playoffs. I'm pretty sure in the top 3 or top 4. I'm pretty sure. I should say that T1 locked their spot when they won against Zeta, but then Zeta, I'm pretty sure, locked their playoff berth against Genji. 2-1 for Zeta Division, 13-8 on Haven for Zeta, 13-4 on Ascent for Genji, and 13-4 on Fracture for Zeta. So I don't know what to say. Laz, he got MVP. Not really surprising of how, just because of how much Genji slipped at the very end of the regular season. And the final one, Paper Rex versus Wrexham Keon. This basically nailed the coffin of ROQ's playoff hopes when they got 2-0'd by Paper Rex. It was basically whoever, like, if ROQ loses, Genji will be in. If ROQ wins, ROQ will be in. It was very, very simple. I'm pretty sure it was also the same for, what was it? It was another match as well that was very, very similar. I'm pretty sure it was Global and Team Secret, maybe. I'm not too sure. But not a good look for ROQ. But to be fair, ROQ, they exceeded my expectations. I really thought that they would actually make it to the playoffs, just because of how well they've been performing very late into the season. Yes, but they've been performing pretty decently. Like they obviously they were the only one of 2 teams to win a map of DRX, or I guess if you count Team Secret as well, one of 3 teams to win a map against DRX. They performed They also performed really, really well against top tier teams as well. Even though T1 was a bit of a slaughter fest. I mean, they won against Global, who had a much more upgraded SK Rossi in the lineup. They We won against some other games, some other matches as well, which I can't remember on top of my head. But I think RQ they should be proud in what they did, and hopefully they do well on in the LCQ. But Paper Rex, they were just too strong. They were just too strong for RQ to handle, and Devi, he got MVP on for that match. So with the group stages out of the way, let's now talk about the playoffs. And obviously first it is A Division versus Team Secret. Whoever wins will be versing DRX, and then T1 versus Gen G. Bit of a rematch. Whoever wins will verse against Paper Rex. Now obviously when I'm pretty sure on the final day, they did announce where Ascension was going to be for the tier 2 scene, and obviously I did cover this in another video. It depends on when I upload it, but it will be at Bangkok, Thailand, at Queen Circuit. I'm pretty sure I say Circuit. I don't know, National Convention Center. That'll be only for the playoffs, but it will be at Bangkok in Thailand, which I'm very excited about. So hopefully that goes really well. But that's really about it for me. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Catch you guys next time in the next one. Goodbye.